Hello. Y'all, I hate living in Maine. People here are mean. Mainers, mean. They're not nice people. But we are starting with a travel vlog today. It is 7:30 in the morning, and I am traveling up to see my sister, which is up towards the Canadian border, so I've got a couple hours drive. I'm gonna continue to drink my dunks. I'm listening to two audiobooks right now, and one of them I'm not really liking. I don't remember the title at this exact moment. I'll put the little thing right here. And I'm feeling like maybe I'll put that off and I'll listen to Mr. Penumbra's 24-hour bookstore instead and see if I like that better. I mean, I'm gonna finish my episode of That's Spooky first before I get all of that started. So yeah, let's head up onto the coastline. Okay, hi. So it is Wednesday, and I have not updated anything. I have read two books that I have literally not introduced at all. I've gotten nowhere in Faithless by C.L. Clark, which I really need to get on. And I have been in a super depressive mode, but the sun is out, it is windy, it is nice and cool. I think it's hammock time. And I need to deal with the fact that I have to pick up a beaver corpse tomorrow off of some lady's lawn. So, now that I have just dropped all that information on everyone, how about we go set up the hammock and do some reading, and when I'm emotionally prepared, we can discuss what I read, what I finished, and why I have to pick up a beaver corpse. Okay, hi, hello. So it is Thursday right now. I tried to film an update yesterday and all did not go to plan. So we're gonna do it today before I go to work because it's like 7 a.m. So let's just start with the two books that I finished. I didn't really enjoy either of them, but I did finish them. Let's see. So the first one I finished was Mr. Penumbra's 24-hour bookstore by Robin Sloan. I gave that a 2.5 stars, and that was like the third book on my backlist for 2023 to try and work through my physical TBR and hopefully make some space. If some of the books that I bought when I was like 16 or 17 I didn't really like. So I didn't really love it. I didn't hate it. I think that it wasn't what I expected it to be in any capacity. So it ended up being like this weird like quest kind of thing, like ancient society of scholars versus Google and technology, Dungeon and Dragons kind of vibe, which is just not what I was expecting in any capacity. Which is probably my fault. It definitely is my fault. Like, obviously I did not read the back of the book when I bought it. Like, this came out in 2012, so I probably bought it when I was like 16 or something like that. So of course I didn't read the back of it. It's fine. I didn't really enjoy it. I thought the writing was okay. She's being a problem, so she's gonna sit with me. I thought the characters were okay. I think it suffered from like the girl in tech kind of scenario, like stereotypes. I think it also suffered from like the like I'm the nice guy of the group, like but I'm like the least interesting, like I have the least money. I end up being kind of like alone in the scenario. I don't know what I'm doing with my life, like I'm kind of just mediocre. Like I feel like that was definitely like a trope in it, and one that I didn't enjoy. You know, it suffered from like mid 2000s, honestly. In a lot of the ways, it reminded me a little bit of Scott Pilgrim, like those kind of vibes, and I was not a fan of Scott Pilgrim. So read it with this information in mind. If this is the kind of story that you're looking for, it was not the kind of story that I was looking for. I was looking for like more of a cute bookstore focused book and less of a like ancient secret society kind of vibe. And also like the Google things with it were just weird. It was weird. And now that I know that this was from 2012, obviously it makes a lot of more sense. But reading it today in 2023 with the input of Google in it, it just felt like kind of weird and kind of cringy in a lot of ways. So yeah, that was Mr. Penumbra's 24-hour bookstore. I will be unhauling that. And then I also finished The Woman in the Libraries by Sulari Gentill. This was a murder mystery thriller, but I thought the premise of it was really interesting. So I'm going to explain this in a way that makes it sound a lot more complicated than it is, because I don't know how else to explain it, but I want to state that it does not, this premise of it is not confusing when you read the book in any capacity. It's very clear. So this book is about an author who is sending her chapters off to be beta read. So from the beginning, we know that we are inside a book that is currently being written and going through like a phase of editing. And then inside of said book, it is a book about an author writing a book about the characters that she is interacting with. Yeah, so it was like a book inside of a book inside of a book. And it was, that premise was not a problem. It was kind of interesting. It was meta. It was done in a way where you were never confused about where you were, which I always like, because sometimes I feel like books that like do things just to be meta aren't constructed in an understandable fashion, and this definitely was. Now, saying that, I did give this a 2.75. I did not love this in any capacity. I thought that the mystery wasn't very good. I kind of got it from the start. The person that they really spent the entire novel trying to ping on who was the murderer, like, of course it wasn't, and it was very obvious that it wasn't, and I'm sure that was like meant to be that way, but I did not enjoy that aspect of it. And overall, I just didn't really like it. I didn't really like the characters. I think that more than anything, I was interested in the first author's storyline, because it's like a whole storyline of she's sending her chapters off to be beta read, to get feedback on the novel that she's writing, and then the dude that she's sending it to beta read starts sending her pictures of murder victims, and then she kind of freaks out. So you don't really get a ton of her storyline, you just get like very little bits and pieces of it. But I would have to say that that was the favorite for me. But all of the other pieces of it, like, I just felt like it was mediocre. I didn't really enjoy it very much. And I probably should have DNF'd it, honestly. But the first author, like the main author, I was so interested in her storyline that I kept going. And that's, you know, like a total of like 4 chapters is not really enough to justify reading an entire story. So that was my bad. Okay, and then finally, let's talk about the beaver. So I have to go and pick up a beaver corpse today for my sister. Long story short, someone offered me a beaver, just a dead one that had been like, it had died before winter, and I'm up in Maine, so everything iced over. So the beaver just got iced over, and the ice just recently melted. So this poor lady is just like, oh my god, there's a whole dead beaver in my yard. So I have to go get it today for my sister, because she's really into skulls and bones and witchy things, and she is the kind of person who will take like an actual like full beaver corpse and will bring it down to bone, and then preserve the bone. So I have to go and put the beaver in some bags and then in a bucket and give it to her for her birthday. And now I am not super into this. I am not into this. My partner is technically by trade a mortician, so she will be my rock, my emotional support in this scenario because I do not handle corpses well like the rest of my family does. But I'm going to be unhappy about it and I'm going to be screaming about it, but I'm going to do it because I love my sister. And the best thing to end this clip off with is a little Courage the Cowardly Dog. Because wow, the things I do for love. Okay, hello. You can hear Sadie's heavy breathing because we're about to go into Joann Fabrics. But we have been running errands all morning, and we have more to do still. We went to a coffee shop, which I showed a little bit of, and then we walked down to the library to drop off some books that I had taken out. Then we went to Goodwill and we got rid of tons of stuff. I know that Goodwill's not good, but I don't have any other thrift stores in my area other than Habitat for Humanity, and Habitat for Humanity does not take clothes. So, I finally got rid of a bunch of clothes that don't fit me because you know what? If your clothes don't fit you, you should just get rid of them. You should just accept the fact that they don't fit you, and there is nothing morally wrong with your clothes, you outgrowing your clothes. And that's fine. I'm trying to tell myself that that's fine. It's fine. And now I have to go to Joann Fabrics because I called them and asked them to hold some bolts, some empty bolts of fabric for me so I could clean up my own fabric stash. So she's very excited. If you did not know, Joann Fabrics is pet friendly. They have a little sticker on the door that says pet friendly. So if you want to take your pet to Joann Fabrics, take your pet. So we're gonna head in. Hello and welcome to the most garbage lighting and chaotic situation physically possible. It is Saturday night. It is 10 p.m. I have been reading. Yes, this is a Cheez-Its Grips container, I guess. That's what we're doing. Okay, so I really like this so far, but my problem with C.L. Clarke is that I really enjoy their stories. Oh my god, it takes me forever to get through their writing. Like, physically forever. And there's nothing that I can point out, like, that I dislike about their writing. But it just, like, slows me down to, like, half my pace. And I don't have this problem with, like, most other writers, like, until I get to, like, the classics. So I don't know what it is about their writing. But god, it just like it's humbling. I think part of it might be like the size of the font because I have to strain to like see it and like focus on it sometimes, but so maybe that's just my eyeballs being the problem. I'm loving the story so far, obviously. Of course I'm loving the story so far. I really enjoy this little like turnaround relationship with Tareen, Luca, and Sabine. And I don't want to call it like a stereotypical love triangle because it's definitely not that. But it gives off like those kind of vibes, but like way better, like in a really good way. Because it's like Luca still has some lingering feelings for Tareen, and Tareen still has some lingering feelings for Luca, but she's very much just like, I need to get some stuff out of this princess, so maybe I can use my standing with her and her feelings against her to get what I need. And then you've got Sabine and like flirting with Tareen all the time. I think based on where we are right now, we're still in the Luca and Tareen storyline, but I enjoy the toss-in that Sabine plays in all of this. And I just think it's interesting. I think that the dynamic between the three of them is the most interesting part about this so far. You know, this whole, like, government murder scheme is not, like, the most interesting part for me. I'm gonna climb into bed and keep reading. And I'll talk to everyone when I look less crazy. Okay, hi, hello. So it is Sunday. I have to finish up this vlog, but I have some things that I just kind of want to talk about. Just a smidge, just a smidgy. So this week has been, like, really rough. This has not been a good week in any capacity between work and home and chaos. And I've spent the past 2 days pretty much just cleaning. I have done probably 12 loads of laundry because I had to pull out all of my sewing supplies from my closet in my office, and I moved everything out here. And I'll put in a little clip of that just so everyone can see what it looks like, because I spent a lot of time on it. And it might not be perfectly gorgeous, but it is perfectly gorgeous to me because it is functional. Also, pro tip, you can go to Joann Fabrics and ask them for empty fabric bolts to help with your fabric storage for when you have, like, a lot of one piece of fabric, because they were just going to throw them out. So you can just be like, hey, can I have some empty fabric bolts? And they're super nice, and they'll just be like, yeah, sure, of course. We were just going to throw them out. So my partner's picking up even more of those for me today, because I got some yesterday, and I did not grab enough. I underestimated the amount of fabric that I have, which just kind of leads me in an entirely different direction of things that I need to get done. But despite that, and I have not done a lot of reading this week whatsoever, and I was starting to feel, like, really bad about it, because it's not that I don't want to, it's that I am purely just exhausted in every single capacity. My partner had surgery. It's been about 2 weeks now, so, like, I felt like the first week my brain was just like, okay, caretaker mode, taking care of things. And this week, like, the house was just a disaster. Everything was disgusting. There was just stuff everywhere. The floors were disgusting. Like, it was bad. And so this week I'm just walking around and I'm like, okay, I'm still doing everything by myself, and I'm burnt out, and this is so hard. Because I do most of the cleaning in the house anyway, but my partner usually takes care of my meals and feeding me, because I am really bad at feeding myself. And obviously she can't do that very well, because she's recovering from her surgery. It was a very minor one, but, you know, there's still aspects of recovery, and she's been, like, just exhausted, even though she's moving and grooving okay now. So that's been hard. So the past 2 days I've literally just cleaned the entire house. I did like 10 or 12 loads of laundry, deep cleaning the kitchen, deep cleaning all of the carpet throughout the house, just trying to pick things up. I did a Goodwill run yesterday, and I was just starting to get really down on myself because I really haven't done a lot of reading. I read those 2 books, Mr. Penumbra's 24-Hour Bookstore, and I think it was like The Woman in the Library, and those were audiobooks, but I literally only listened to audiobooks for 2 work days. And other than that, my brain was just elsewhere. So this is, for me and for anyone else who is having a hard time right now, it's okay if you're not reading as much as you want to be. Even if you are sitting there and you're like, God, this is all I want to be doing, but you just cannot get yourself to pick up that book, that's okay. Because I needed that message this week. So therefore I'm going to pass it on to someone else who might need that message. Because life sucks. Life really sucks. No matter how hard you try, life more often than not just sucks. So you gotta give yourself a little bit of room, a little bit of leeway and things to get through your days. I'm sitting on the floor in my living room right now because you know what? I just cleaned it. And I feel like I should enjoy all of the hard work that I just put into this goddamn room. So yeah, that's where I'm at. This week has been hard. This week has been full of people trying to shame me and just kind of sucking. And it just kind of do be that way sometimes. But that's okay. Because you can still be vibing. And you know what? I got like 100 more pages into, I think it's Faithless by C.L. Clarke, and I'm still really enjoying it. And I'm gonna read more of it today, but I really need to get some work done today. But I really need to like work on a balance in life and in things. Because I definitely feel like I'm burnt out, like I can't do all of the things that I want to do because I'm just so exhausted. So I'm really hoping with some of the changes that I made this week that will start to mitigate the problem a little bit. So yeah, I'm hoping my sewing station moving out into the living room will get me to start sewing a little bit more. So my partner's desk is like over towards that corner. She has her PC that she made herself. She's got 2 monitors, and then she's got the 3D printer that I got her. So if she is doing something, if she is doing a hobby, if she is hanging out, she is in that corner right there. And my love language is definitely, it's parallel play. Like, it's not even you acknowledging me for the most part. It's just I want to be sitting near you doing our own things. That's what I like. That's how I imagine quality time for me. So I'll want to do something, but I want to be near her. So I end up just sitting in the living room on the couch watching an absurd amount of Sims YouTube for no reason. So now I'm hoping that I have my whole setup here. I will be more inclined to be out here sewing, doing art, working on some prototypes for some things that I am hoping to get started on very soon, because I'll be able to spend my version of quality time with my partner. I don't know, if you're having a hard week, I'm also having a hard week. I feel you on such a deep and emotional level. That's all I got for this week. I guess I'm gonna end this off with whatever you can manage reading, even if it's just a page or 2. It's valid, it's important. I see you trying your best as the world is falling apart around us. And I hope that you are ultimately doing okay. If you are still here for this ridiculous ass rant that is just kind of flowing out of my mouth, tell me one good thing that happened this week. Because I think I need some good things that happen. I think my only good thing that happened this week was my dog and I went to Joann Fabrics. And you know what? She is an angel in Joann Fabrics. She is a pure angel in Joann Fabrics. Everywhere else, chaos. Chaos demon. Barking. Upset. Nope, not in Joann Fabrics. Joann Fabrics is apparently the one place that my almost 14-year-old corgi mix has decided has all of the vibes. I guess that's going to be it for the week. I'm going to try really hard again next week to get my shit together. So, I will see everyone next time. Bye.